The college basketball experience, CAA, the Colonial Athletic Association season preview for 2023-24 on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Look, Underdog has just added Pick'em Scorchers, where you can win 100 times the amount of money you enter. That's right. Turn $5 into $500 in just one game. Plus, every Sunday they're giving away $100,000. Use the promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for 100% deposit bonus up to $500. We're also brought to you by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the promo code SGP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use that promo code SGP. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. And we're also giving away $3,000 in our NFL Second Chance Survivor contest presented by Corey Pinkston and Barking Dog Properties. Free to enter. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor. Once again, that is sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, this is Derek Stevens. I'm the owner of Circa Las Vegas. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Experience, Colonial Athletic Association season preview. Yes, the CAA conference preview. No, we're not saying that other bullshit. They are the Colonial. Stop being fucking idiots. All right. Folks, if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
And by the way, the new name that they're trying to call themselves, this is what I think about that.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
Soft ass bitch. Oh, Colonial. How dare you say Colonial? Fucking, what a stupid fucking world we live in. That, you know what? I hope everyone misses the tournament. All right. So ridiculous. How, I was out at the other night. I was out at the restaurant and heard a table talking behind me, and it threw the word Colonial out there. Whoa. What are we doing here? String them up and hang them in front of the fucking town hall. Let's do it. The fuck. Anyway, I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. He is the host of the Big 12 Experience, which you should be subscribed to. He is the host of the Ryan and Rush Show, which you should be subscribed to. Give it up for Moneyline Mac, aka Ryan McIntyre. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Dundee. You know, I love the CAA. This was a good league last year. You had Charleston, you had Hofstra, Towson, Wilmington. It will always be the Colonial, just like the Redskins will always be the Redskins. Enough of this soft ass shit. Call it what it is, the Colonial Athletic Conference, whatever they call it.
I'm just so confused. They're like, now we're coastal. And now we're only using coastal schools. Hate to break it to you. All your states that involve the schools involved with your conference, well, they have a history of being colonized. Let's just say that. All right. Yes. Unfucking believable. What is going on here? I've never met a human. I've met a shit ton of people in my life. All right. As someone that did stand up for a long time, I've met a lot of humans. I've never once. I mean, what's next? What's next here? Seahawks are offensive. You know what I mean? What the fuck are we doing here, folks? It's just language. It's language. This happened. I don't know. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. But yeah, the conference. Hey, they got some good basketball. They got some good basketball in this conference. I'm excited to break it down. We are joined by third man in the booth. Big fan of the Coastal Athletic. He'll go down to the beach there. He'll go down to the beach. I saw him in Florida. Saw him posted some shit in Florida a couple months ago. This guy, he's the host of the College Baseball Experience. He's the guy behind the guy. Always doing things behind the scenes. He'll wire up a toilet seat that will suck the pants off you. Don't worry. Give it up for Noah Bieniek. How you doing?
How's it going, guys? And yeah, I'm making another statement with the apparel today. American flag on the hat.
Oh, you know what that is?
The Colonial Athletic Association. They were all the schools are part of the 13 colonies. That's why it's the Colonial Athletic. Come on, guys.
And now you're wearing the American flag hat. You know, there was someone I met at the bus stop, a homeless guy that he hates the American flag. So maybe we should change the American flag.
Yeah,
right? Let's please everybody here.
You're also talking about what one's next. Well, there's two of them that they could possibly change. You know, Hofstra, their nickname's the Pride. They might make their logo rainbow. And then,
well, first off, no.
William and Mary Tribe, they might think that's offensive too.
Well, first off, Hofstra is not the Pride. They are the Dutchman, the Flying Dutchman. All right, they changed that. They changed that title back in the look in the 90s. They were the Flying Dutchman. Fuck you, Hofstra. Bring your football program back. All right. And look, I know any CAA fans are not going to listen to it now that I've already said this stuff, but do you think I care? Do you think I care? Look, and yeah, the Tribe
right there with you.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I feel like the average person goes, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, I know we're supposed to talk basketball, but like, this is one of the silliest name changes I've ever fucking heard in my life.
It's awful.
It's awful. Idiocracy. We are in the movie Idiocracy. It's like, we are stupider. We are stupid people. We are stupid people. Like, as a society, we are just very stupid. There's no way to get around it. Anyway, the conference, the basketball that's done on the court is fun. Hopefully they'll come to their senses and stop being fucking morons. But look, before we jump in and preview every single team, because we will, I want to tell you that the College Football Experience is brought to you by, the College Basketball Experience. Jeez, I'm all over the place. I do so many college football shows, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. The College Basketball Experience, Coastal. That's why I thought football. The CAA conference, I won't say Colonial, is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy has a way to play alongside your favorite football team all season long. Look, an Underdog has just introduced Scorchers. Yeah, go 5 for 5 and pick up Scorchers and enjoy a spicy 100 times payout. And for a limited time, Underdog is extending the first deposit bonus up to $500. Yeah, they're giving away $100,000 every single Sunday too. Yeah. 10 lucky players will win $10K each and every Sunday. It's unbelievable. So watch along, make picks, and maybe make a little extra cash over on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. When you sign up with the promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $500. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Manscaped. Yes. Look, we're taking a step up from Balloween to bring you in your face the cleanest shave it's ever been, it's ever seen. All right. So this season, no need to toil and trouble. Manscaped's all new Handyman is here to get rid of that stubble. Featuring a compact design and next gen skin safe technology, the Handyman was designed to give you the smooth finish without the mess of a traditional shave. Get the sweetest treat this Halloween season by going to manscaped.com and use that promo code SGP for 20% off free shipping. 20% off plus free shipping, I should say. Once again, promo code SGP at manscaped.com for a look as sweet as candy. Get yourself the Handyman from Manscaped. All right, we are back on the College Basketball Experience as we break down the Colonial Athletic American Association, whatever the fuck, whatever. There's a lot of A's in there. All right. Let's talk about a brand new team entering. We're going to go alphabetically here. The Camels. Whoa. I'm offended. I'm offended. You can't just call them camels. That's an offensive term, depending where you use the word camel. You know what I mean? And you got the Joe Cool thing. He was a camel that smoked. What are you encouraging cigarette smoking? You encouraging cancer? You filthy fucking whores, right? No, I'm excited to see Campbell jump up into the conference, but this is one that I'm curious how it will take in year one. They were 16-18, finishing 7th in the Big South, 8-10 in conference, and now you're just going to jump up to the CAA as Kevin McGeehan entering his 11th season in Bowie's Creek, North Carolina, and they lose a couple studs. Ricky Clemens, Jesus Carello, gone. Jay Powell, gone. Joshua Lusain, gone. Devin Dunn, gone. So you got to wonder, a step up in competition. I understand you got a guy named Colby on your team, and that normally means your chances of getting ass go up. But there's not a lot of meat on this bone right now. Anthony Delorso is their top returning guy as a freshman. He had a big time year, about 29 minutes a game, 12.5 points per game. Other than that, they really don't have a gigantic, I guess you could say, Gediminus Moxaxas. I don't know how to pronounce your name, Gedimius. But he played 24 minutes a game. So you got two guys really that were playing substantial minutes a season ago. I know they went out in the portal and brought in Tesos Cook, who they're excited about. Also Sam Perez from High Point and Alex Kotov from Illinois State. All in all, though, I think this team's going to struggle with a step up. Mac, your thoughts on the camel? And they're fighting camels too. That's their nickname. Yeah. That. Hey,
fighting humps.
Tone it back on the animosity, guys. All right. Unfucking believable. Yeah. No, I love the name Fighting Camels. By the way, don't get rid of that. I love that name. What do you make of this team, Mac?
Yeah, there's definitely a jump up from the Big South into the CAA. I think they are going to struggle as well. For everybody that follows college basketball closely, this team was right there to go to the NCAA tournament. They had UNC Asheville beat. They had a double-digit lead. Kind of was a Cinderella run in March, but you mentioned it. They lose a bunch. Kevin McGeehan in his 11th year, probably a bottom-tier team in the CAA for the Fighting Camels in year number one.
Yeah. I mean, I think, they're just not there yet. It's a good step up. I like their football program with Mike Minter too. Noah, what do you make of the Camels?
Yeah, they lose 63% of their scoring from last year, 5 of their top 6 scorers. This is also going to be a pretty young team, and there's 3 transfers in the projected starting 5. So going to take some time to gel. Last year, this team was 172nd offensively nationally, and now they're entering a new conference that is better than the Big South defensively. I think this team is going to struggle offensively. So I think this is a bottom half team in the conference.
Yeah. Let's move over and talk about one of the more exciting teams in mid-major college basketball, the Charleston Cougars. All right. That could be offensive too. All right. Had a Cougar take all my money once. No, I'm joking. Pat Kelsey entering his 3rd season. This is a fun team, and I know they lose Dalton Bolin and Ryan Larson. Well, fuck Ryan Larson. Isn't this the guy? Isn't this the guy, Noah?
Yeah, but he helped us out. March Madness got us the cover. I think he fouled to get San Diego State to the line.
That's true. We were able to get that. That's true. All right, Ryan Larson, you're off the hook. I hope you're playing great basketball in Bolivia. Pat Robinson also gone. So 3 guys that averaged double digits a season ago. They also have Raekwon Horton. Big fan of the rapper Raekwon. So, that's a substantial loss. It's always better when you have a guy named Raekwon on your team. Honestly though, that's you're looking at like almost 40 points of production gone. Now their home environment was pretty lit last year, so maybe that's something to build on. But as far as depth, I think that is a major area of concern. They do return a few guys that played substantial minutes a season ago. Renee Smith is back. 6'2" guard who averaged about 11 points a game, 25 minutes a game. They also have Ante Brozovic that averaged 19 minutes a game. Also Ben Burnham, 17 minutes a game. All back. But other than that, the cupboard's a little empty. They went to the portal to bring in CJ Fulton from Lafayette. He averaged double digits with the Leopards there. Also brought in Frankie Pellicilli from Stony Brook with the Seahawks. Well, don't say that word. Sea Wolves. I'm sorry. They're the Sea Wolves now. What is a sea wolf? What the fuck is a sea wolf? All right.
It's a wolf that goes at sea. Creating
mythical names, mythical creatures. Last time I was playing Dungeons and Dragons, a sea wolf came out of here and came out of nowhere and killed everybody. And I find that offensive.
Than 40 schools using the nickname Bulldogs.
No, not in this case. Not in this case. Like there's so many real animals you can use.
Bulldogs and Wildcats.
I've made this case for a long time. There's a lot of animals you could use. No one's the fucking roly polies. You kidding me? Grasshoppers. You have a lot that you can use, and you settle for the sea wolves. Don't get me started. But anyway, he transfers in. Also, Bryce Butler from West Liberty and Kobe Rogers transfers in from Nova Southeastern. Interesting.
They were good. They're also. This is a really good athletic program just across the board, baseball and basketball. The two recruits that are coming in, Nova Southeastern and the one from West Georgia, or West Liberty. Sorry, Bryce Butler
a good program.
And Kobe Rogers. They played each other in the D2 national championship. Butler put up the most points in the game, and Rogers was close to a double-double. So interesting.
I'm just going to go ahead and say this because the people already hate me. So Charleston, start your football program. You are in Charleston, South Carolina. Have you guys been to Charleston, South Carolina?
Yes,
beautiful.
I have.
I love that place.
It's incredible. I could live there. there.
Yeah.
The only reason why I haven't chose to live there is they don't have a football program. All right. Start your football program. You're in fucking South Carolina. Your talent level, it's going to be an easy pitch. Why do you not have a football program? But yes, guys, I think this, despite all the turnover, I think Pat Kelsey and the Cougs, I think they're going to be in pretty decent shape. I still think they'll be like a top 3 or 4 team in the CAA. What do you guys think, Mac?
Yeah, I mean, you got to trust the culture here with Pat Kelsey at Charleston. Before he got there, Earl Grant did a good job, handed the keys off. I kind of feel like this is it for Pat Kelsey at Charleston. I think he's going to get a high major gig after this year. So I think there's going to be a more sense of urgency to get things done, get back to the dance, solidify that 31-4 last year. Yeah, they lose a bunch of production, but they did a good job in the portal. They'll be right there to win the league again. I don't think they'll be as good as last year, but I still think 25 plus wins.
Yeah. Noah, how about you?
Yeah, this is more of the same from Charleston as in years past. Last year, they reloaded through the transfer portal. They do it again this year. You have to believe that Pat Kelsey's going to have the boys rolling once again. And gotta love how, the top 7 in projected minutes that from the players on this roster, they're all juniors or above. So that's something that I always look at, and they're going to be a very good shooting team. Also, one of the best rebounding teams year in and year out from Pat Kelsey. So I like backing Kelsey here, even though we don't know what the product's going to be on the floor. I think this is again going to be one of the better teams here in the CAA.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's jump on over and talk about, see, this is an original name. Shout out to them. The Delaware Blue Hens. All right. Great football program too. 17 and 16 a year ago. I actually thought they kind of underachieved a little bit for me. I thought they were going to be a little bit better. 8 and 10 in the CAA. They finished tied for 6th. And Martin Inglesby is entering his 8th season there at the Bob Carpenter Center, their home court. Great name for a fucking stadium. Jameer Nelson Jr. though is gone. He transferred to TCU if memory serves me correct. LJ Owens gone. And those were the 2 biggest losses. They lost a couple other reserves, in Asamoah and Arletti, but Owens and Nelson, solid contributors from a year ago. So it's going to be tough to bounce back after that. But they do have Jair Davis, 6'7" forward, redshirt junior back, who played about 15.5 minutes a game a season ago. They have a couple other guys, Christian Ray, guard that I think now that Nelson's gone might be their top scorer, averaged just about 10 points a game, 9 boards a season ago. And then they were active in the portal. They went out and got the Great Dane, Albany Great Dane transfer, Gerald Drumgoole Jr. Also Niels Lane coming in from Florida. Also Jalen Trent from North Dakota with the Fighting Hawks. No relation to Gary as far as I know. And Zion Bethea coming in from St. Francis. Remember, St. Francis, one of these pussy schools that said, we're just going to stop having an athletic department. Remember, they're the divider. We have no divider in college basketball this year. Also, VMI transfer Tyler Hauser coming in. The big one I think is Trent and Drumgoole. I think their season will go as they go, and all of the transfer gets, with the exception of Lane, average double digits at their previous stops. That could be, and that might make this team better than what I think. But I look at this team and I think it's a step back. They're going to take a little bit of regression here, but this is college basketball 2023. Maybe it's a hard team to get a read on because of all those portal gets, but maybe they'll be better than what I think. Mac, what do you think of the Blue Hens?
Yeah, so they finished the year strong last year down the stretch. Kind of like you said, they were a letdown because they were 22-11, made the NCAA tournament the year before. I kind of feel like they're in that 4 to 5 to 6 range in this league. I think that they could be a challenger in the top tier, but it's going to take some time to mesh because, losing Jameer Nelson, that was a big loss. Anytime you lose a guy that averaged 21, 5 and 5, that's a big loss. So interested to see how these new pieces through the portal mesh.
Yeah. It wouldn't shock me if they finished in the top 3 or 4, but I'm saying right now I got to say middle of the pack. Noah, your thoughts on the Blue Hens?
Yeah. So this roster in the CAA contains the third most experience compared to the other teams in this conference. The thing to me here is it doesn't take into account like returning experience. So it's also taking into account the transfers coming in. And I think multiple of these transfers are taking a step up in conference. And that's going to be something that to keep your eye on how this team's going to perform throughout the year. Because specifically with Drumgoole, who we're expecting a lot from this year, it's a big step up from the AE to the CAA. So I want to see it to believe it from this team, but I think it could be a top half team at the very ceiling. But I expect this one more middle of the road in the CAA.
Yeah, it's kind of where I had him going to. Let's move over and talk about the Drexel Dragons, more mythical creatures, sort of, unless you're going Komodo. And I highly urge you to put the Komodo dragon all over your logo and perhaps in your locker room. 17 and 15 a year ago, 10 and 8. Zach Spiker entering his 8th season, and you look at this team. I'm kind of intrigued by this team. I'm kind of intrigued. It's not like they have just one guy. They play team ball. They got to me a lot of minutes back from their previous season, and that's
they
why
return the most minutes in the CAA. Sorry to cut you off, but 86% of the returning minutes.
Yeah, and then you add in Lucas Monroe transferring in from Penn. I know they lose Coltrane Washington. Great fucking name, by the way. Shout out to John Coltrane. But yeah, they lose Lucas Monroe to Penn. I'm sorry, they bring in Lucas Monroe from Penn, but they lose Coltrane Washington. Kind of a wash there. Washington's probably a little bit better, but in general, your team should be better based on another year of experience. Another thing is I count, 7 seniors on this team, 7 seniors, whether they're grad or just regular seniors. That is why I think the Drexel Dragons might be in the top 3 there in the CAA. Gotta like the guard play they have with Justin Moore, Yame Butler, and Luke House, as well as Lamar Odin Jr. not Odom, Odin. Mac, what do you make of the Dragons there?
Yeah, so I definitely think this is a top 4 team in the CAA. Zach Spiker, Morgantown, West Virginia native, in his 8th year. He did a good job at Army. He was always around that 4 or 5 range. A couple times he was able to crack into the top 3, and then he steadily built this thing up. They bring back all their production. I mean, 17 and 15 last year. I think they could push for 20 wins this year.
Yeah, I think they're a contender. Exciting time to be a Drexel Dragon fan. Noah, your thoughts?
Right there with you guys. I think I like this team even more, to be honest. I love this Drexel team this year. They return a lot of experience, and last year their point guard, Justin Moore, was a freshman. He was averaging 14.5 points per game in non-conference before an injury, and then the production from him slightly decreased after a little time off in the middle of the season. So I expect him to take a step up in his sophomore year and lead this team full of plenty of experience. I look at the schedule here for Drexel, and I wish that we could take advantage of them returning so much experience early on this year. However, Max West Virginia Mountaineers are in the crosshairs as the first high major team that they play.
Watch out now.
December 9th. So
that's Spiker going back to Morgantown.
Yeah, I think that might still be
we got a problem.
I think that still might be a little too late. Like West Virginia giving them with all their transfers a month to adapt. That might be a little late to try to catch them. But I like this Drexel team a lot.
Listen, Spiker, I like you, but you're taking an L when you come back home to Morgantown, buddy. I like Zach Spiker.
Let's move along. And I think they get LaSalle. I think the first week I was looking at the college basketball season. It's hilarious. My wife's sitting there, 2 a.m.
Yeah, they get LaSalle. They'd be laying 2 there.
Like first week, right? It's first week.
Game 1.
It was hilarious. My wife's like, that's a great battle of Philadelphia, by the way. Love that game on the schedule. Probably 2 a.m. last night. My wife gets done watching some like scary movie. She goes, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm just finishing up work." And really what I was looking at was that matchup.
Yes.
Work wasn't asking me to check out the LaSalle Drexel game, but damn it, I was. All right.
That's the best part about this job, though.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Folks, look, before we get to, the next team, I want to tell you that the college basketball experience is brought to you by SGPN Second Chance Survivor. Look, we've all been out there, no matter what it is, sometimes you wish you had a second chance at life. You know what I mean? No matter what it is. Could be you're at the mall. I'll tell you one story. When I was in high school, I don't really wish I had a second chance now, but for many years, I thought I wish I had a second chance right around. Well, one time I was in high school and you just wrong place, wrong time. I borrowed an older brother's friend's car to go to the grocery. Well, my mom wanted me to go to the grocery store, and I was trying to watch the Colorado USC game. And I knew that if I had to go to the grocery store, it'd be a long walk. So I borrowed a friend's car, not my brother's friend's car, not even my own friend's car. His car was just full of trash. Like, honestly, it was the nastiest car I've ever driven, actually. And but I was like, if I can quickly go to the store, grab this food, and then jump back, I could catch the rest of the Colorado game. Well, sure enough, Murphy's Law here. I park right next to the hottest chick that I had a crush on. And next thing you know, I'm getting out of the car. The big bite wrappers are fucking falling out of the car. And this car was it just looked looks like a lot of meth had been happening in this car. Very methy tone to it. And look, I just wish I had a second chance where I decided to no, not now, but then I really did.
I have a wrong place, wrong time car story as well from high school.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it happens. Sometimes you just wish you had a second chance. And the same can be said for Survivor. I was dumb enough to take the
Washington. I wasn't there.
Yeah, that happens too. Trust me. A lot of situations I wish I wasn't there. But I mean, look, the NFL Survivor, I took the Redskins last week. I ate shit on that. They lost to the Bears at home. It was pathetic. But luckily enough, we're offering a second chance. All right. So I know a lot of you folks out there. Oh, you know the NFL, but maybe you don't know. You don't want to reveal that your picks are ass and that you're already out of your Survivor. All right. Now here's the second chance. Don't worry, we got you covered. SGPN's got you covered with our second chance Survivor, presented by Corey Pinkston and Barking Dog Properties. $3,000 are up for grabs. Winner take all. Starts NFL Week 7. So sign up now. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. All right, we are back talking Colonial Athletic Association, the Elon Phoenix. May they rise. Will the Phoenix rise again? Not this year. All right. The Phoenix were ass last year. Let's be honest. 8-24, 6-12, finished 9th in the Colonial. Billy Taylor though says that was year 1. All right. One thing I know about Billy Taylor is he's going to be improving, stepping up into it for year 2. They do lose Sean Halloran and Torrance Watson and Gerald Gillen's Butler, who combined for about 31 points a game. So they're gonna have to find some scoring. All right, they do return Max McKinnon, who 30 minutes a game, 11.5 points from a season ago. Also Zach Irvin, 5th-year guard, played 28 minutes a game a season ago. Those are 2 huge pieces, as well as Sam Sherry, their big man, 6'10" junior, got around 9 points a game a season ago. And then they went out and they brought in Rob Higgins from St. Francis, New York. Once again, the divider went up, right? And they said, we're not playing any more athletics because we're a bunch of pussies. So everybody from that St. Francis team needed to find a home, and they found Rob Higgins, which I think is a nice get. He averaged 11.5 points there at St. Francis. Besides that, they also went and got a few freshmen that I think they're excited about. That's the thing that jumps out to me though, is the depth. I actually like the starting 5. I actually think the starting 5 could be improved and this team could be better this year. However, I do think this is a back half team when we talk about the Elon Phoenix. Mac, your thoughts? Will the Phoenix rise with you?
No, they will not rise. But I will say they went the young route last year, played some freshmen that are going to be even better in their sophomore year. So I don't know. 8-24. What's realistic? Maybe they could. I think a realistic goal would be see if they can jump up like 5-6 games and push for 500. But I mean, at best, middle of the pack, but more realistically, bottom 3 team in this league once again. And Billy Taylor's year number 2.
Noah, you were telling me you think they're contenders this year.
I don't believe so. I don't recall that. They do bring back the CAA Rookie of the Year and Max McKinnon. He could be a bright spot in this roster, but the thing that I always kind of look towards the front courts, and this team was a bad rebounding team last year. They were like 240th in the country in rebounding rate. So I think that needs to improve. And I think it does happen in year 2. I don't know what the ceiling is for this team, but I don't think they'll be in the cellar.
Yeah, I think they'll get a little more competitive. Still not where they need to be, but hey, all right. Rome wasn't built overnight, people. All right. Next up, let's move along to the Hampton Pirates. All right. This has been a darling of mine. I know Noah makes fun of the Hampton Suites. What is it? Hampton
Inn and Suites.
Hampton Inn.
Yeah,
Hampton
Inn.
Convocation Centers where they play basketball.
I have spent a good amount of time in my life at a Hampton hotel. You do stand up on the road. You normally get a shitty. That's not even that shitty. It's all right. All right, but they were 8-24. Speaking of shitty, they were shitty last year. 8-24, 5-13, tied for 12th in the CAA. Well, they lose Russell Dean and Marquise Godwin, and both those guys. This is why I ate shit with them last year a lot in basketball. When they got Godwin, I thought, okay, but losing those guys that combined for about 25 points a game, and then you add Raymond Bethea to that mixed, or Bethea. You're talking about 30, 31 points per game of production gone. Edward Joyner in year 15. He's been doing it for a long time. Jordan Nesbitt that's who they brought in, was from Memphis. Wasn't he at Memphis? I think he was at Memphis.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
That was one of the reasons why I was bullish on them being good last year. And I ate a big old bag of shit on that. He's back though, 33.5 minutes a game a season ago. You can build your nucleus around him, and Dan Bannister back on the bench, senior guard, 21 minutes a game. Between those two, Kyrese Mullen, who played substantial minutes as a freshman for the Pirates, you gotta kind of like some of the pieces they bring back. They went out in the portal, stayed aggressive. Tristan Maxwell coming in from Georgia Tech, played with Josh Pastner there. Also another guy from the Divider, Tedrick Wilson Jr. coming in from St. Francis, New York, as well as Joshua Lucane from the Camels in conference, as well as 2 South Carolina transfers. Maybe were they Frank Martin guys? I don't know. We'd have to check. Ford Cooper and Javon Benson coming in from the Gamecocks. All in all, I do think this team, I'm going back to the well. They should be much better this year. 8-24 was not, like, to me, they had a better team than that record, that final record. I think they take a step in the right direction. They're still going to be, they're not contenders. They're in the middle of the road. Why? What do you got? What do you make of this team there, Mac?
Yeah, so it was their first year in the CAA, coming over from the Big South. Definitely a transition year. I'm with you. I do think they'll take a slight step forward. Like Elon, like, it can't get any worse. I mean, both these teams were god awful last year, but they do bring back a good amount, have some nice portal additions. Couple guys from the high major, Georgia Tech, South Carolina. I think they could push for maybe middle of the pack if things go right.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I felt like they should have been better last year than their final record, which makes me a little nervous. But when I look at this team, I think they're talented. Noah, what do you make of the Pirates?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Joyner's done well in the portal lately, getting some talented pieces. And I like the backcourt. Like, it contains some good pieces. I don't know how it's going to gel together. And especially defensively, that was where this team was really brutal last year, 353rd out of 363. So that's where they need to make some improvements. And if they do, they could probably climb again, one of these teams that could probably get out of the Solar, but I don't know if their ceiling is like, can they get to the middle of the league? I don't think so.
Yeah, we'll see. The dogs are barking. Maybe the Pirates are live.
Exactly.
Anyway, let's jump on over and talk about the next team, the Hofstra Flying Dutchman. This is, hey, start your football. They had a really good football program. Wayne Corbett, Giamatti Cormazzi, Marquise Colston. They were in the FCS playoffs, the year before they just said, we're not going to play football anymore. I don't know who made that call, but they definitely should not be on planet Earth. I'm joking, but definitely a terrible call. But Speedy Claxton and the Flying Dutchman have been good. 25-10, 16-2 in conference, but yet they didn't make the NCAA tournament. Aaron Estrada from Chips is gone. Warren Williams gone. Amari Marshall gone. They took hits. All right. But they do return Tyler Thomas, who I think is a stud, 33 minutes a game, almost 17 points. Also, Darlin Stone Dubar. This is a guy, 25 minutes a game as a sophomore, 10 points per game. I think you got to be excited about the future of the Flying Dutchman. Now they did also bring in some transfers. Miles Wilmoth from Butler. So that's a nice get. Yeah. Also Silas Sunday from Iona with Rick Pitino. Also Jocko Fritz from Canisius and Eric Parnell from Eastern Florida State College. All in all, I think they're in contention yet again, even though they lose Estrada. I think they will contend for a Colonial Athletic Championship. Mac, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's hard not to buy into Speedy Claxton at Hofstra. 2 years, he's won 20 plus games in both years. He played there, so he's got a lot of pride in that university. Loves that place. They were really good last year. I mean, them in Charleston toe to toe. We were on the money line again when Wilmington did pick them off in the tournament. So bad taste in their mouth. Definitely going to be a top team in this league again that will challenge. It will be interesting how they replace Estrada, though. He kind of was the do-it-all kind of guy for him on the offensive defensive side, but still a good team, top 3 in this league again.
Noah, your thoughts on the Flying Dutchman?
He's muted.
Noah?
My dang dog. I muted myself because he was barking. But Speedy Claxton has had this Hofstra team finish in the top 3 in both of his first 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. It could be more of the same this year. I mean, they returned the 3rd most experience in the CAA. I worry a little bit about the depth. Just a couple of these guys are unproven. So for me, this is one team that I'm looking to back early, and we'll see how they do and how healthy they stay throughout the season. Because in the conference play, that's where I'd be more worried about it. But Speedy Claxton has done it in his first 2 years. I'd be willing to back the culture, as Max says there.
Yeah, I think it's they're shooing for like a top 4 team. I think I agree with the chat as well. Now let's move along and talk about the Monmouth Hawks and King Rice. I'm so old. I remember when King Rice was point guard for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Look, 2 years ago they had a great season. They got knocked off by St. Peter's in their conference tournament. St. Peter's went on to the Elite 8, so they probably should have had multiple teams in the NCAA tournament that year. Now, last year they finished 12th in the CAA. Remember, last year was their first year in the CAA as they jumped up. 7-26 overall, but we knew the cupboard was empty. They lost a ton of production the year prior. So this year they lose a couple guys. Miles Foster's gone, 12.5 points a game. Tehran Austin gone, 8 points a game. Miles Ruth, 6 points a game. So you're losing 26, 27 points per game of production. And trust me, that was nothing compared to the year before. You return some key pieces though. Jack Collins, he was a freshman last year, played 31 minutes a game, averaged 10.5 points per game. Also Kleeman Vuga, the big man, 25.5 minutes a game last season, 9.5 points. He's back. Can you build on that? Sure you can, because you got other guys with production. Jakari Spence, 22.5 minutes a game a season ago. Jack Holstrom, 17 minutes a season ago. These are guys that I think could play big roles, and I know they're excited about Cornelius Robinson, the freshman from Willingboro, New Jersey. And they were active in the portal too. They brought in Xander Rice from King Rice to Xander Rice from Bucknell. This is a guy that averaged 14 points a game with the Bison and Bucknell. That's a nice get at the point guard spot. Guard play so valuable in college basketball. Also, Gabe Spinelli coming in from Evansville, the Purple Aces. That's going to be an interesting one to watch because the guy played about 16 minutes a game there in the Missouri Valley. They also brought in a Tulsa transfer and Nikita Konstanovsky. Jeez, that's a great name. Coming in from the Golden Hurricane, he averaged 5 minutes a game there in the AAC. So maybe he gets more production. All in all, they're still not where they were 2 years ago. And obviously the CAA, the Colonials, a tougher conference than they were used to. It's a project. I still think though they will be better than a season ago, and they'll be towards the back, but not dead last. Give me the Monmouth Hawks. Mac, your thoughts on Monmouth being towards the back, but not necessarily in the cellar.
I think I'm a little higher on King Rice's bunch. I think they're going to be middle of the pack. They went through a transition about a decade ago where they went from the Northeast to the Metro, and it was kind of a similar trajectory. King Rice likes to build up these rosters, and he'll take his lumps with these younger guys. They went on a little bit of a run in February with this young group, got some experience. Bring back majority of their team. Yes, they will miss They will miss a couple guys that contributed, but I also think Xander Rice is a good get. I trust King Rice to get this thing going in the right direction. I think they're going to be middle of the pack.
Yeah, you could be right. But you also
year 2 is the CAA too.
You also said the word Metro. We can't say that anymore in 2023.
You don't want to take that filthy Metro.
Yeah, can't say Metro these days. Someone might blow your head off. Next up, we got.
Hold on.
No,
I kind of agree with Mac here. King Rice has had winning seasons in 6 of his 9 years at Monmouth, and last year they were really rough coming into the year. 356th in returning experience. This year, over half the roster returns in minutes, and I think Xander Rice is a great get from Bucknell. He averaged 14 points per game with the Bison, and that was a very slow offense. So I think that's another one. I think I said this about Rutgers, Spencer from Rutgers going to UConn. That's like, I don't know, like a fourth of their production per game points-wise. So I think Xander Rice is going to be a big piece for this team overall. So I like Monmouth too.
Yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to skip you. buddy.
You didn't want his breakdown on Monmouth?
I just thought, this guy.
5 minutes on Monmouth is too much.
He's hated Monmouth for a long time. No, let's jump over and talk about North Carolina A&T. They went out and hired Monte Ross.
This one's one of them we don't need to spend too much time on. Terrell.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doesn't
you draw your line in the sand. You draw your line in the sand. Terrell Furman Jr. every Saturday morning we'll be talking college basketball. And look, Monte Ross comes over from the Delaware Blue Hens a few years ago. Now, he had a year or two when they were really good at Delaware. They lost some steam towards the end, but maybe he can recapture that. This guy won a CAA championship as a Delaware Blue Hen head coach. So it's an interesting hire to me as far as like, this is a guy that's experienced within this very conference. And, you look at what they return. Okay.
Not much.
Yeah. It's barely anybody. Jeremy Robinson, the grad transfer is, 5th year senior, 18 minutes a game a season ago. They're going to count on him, and also Kyle Duke. Besides that, everyone else is new, and they went deep. Frostburg College represent out of Maryland. Jason Murphy coming in. Coffeeville College, Cami and Shell coming in. Yavapai College, Evan Joyner. I mean, they went Garden City. I know that one. They brought in a slew of guys. They lose a ton. Cam Woods gone. Marcus Watson gone. Demetric Horton gone. Duncan Powell gone. In my opinion, they're going to be the clear-cut worst team in the league this year. I am intrigued by the hire, though. Mac, your thoughts on the Aggies?
Yeah, you mentioned his successful run at Delaware. He's 5-26 his first year, though. I think it's similar where they're going to be god awful. I mean, they're so bad. I may take Pitt and lay the points on opening night. This team is going to be really bad. So definitely going to be the clear cut last team for me here.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a very good point. We should all take
Terrell.
Pitt.
Are you laying 27 with Pitt?
27?
Oh, fuck no. Give me North Carolina A&T.
Big number.
Play.
Yeah.
Jeff Gable.
According to Torvik, it is 27. This team's going to be rough, guys. This is probably Monmouth of 2023. They return nobody, like 3 players in total, and 10% of the minutes. So I think it's a very slow start. And if we're talking about believing in Ross, this might be a team like, hey, February, you put a couple of wins together. That's impressive. We'll give Terrell that.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to be bad. Let's move over.
Also, UNC Greensboro, they're laying 24. Virginia laying 25. I mean, Virginia, are they going to blow out a team by 26 points? Samford laying 22. High Point laying 18. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Bad team.
Yeah, they are. Let's move over and talk about the Boston Terriers, which, speaking of teams that need to start their football program, holy shit. I mean, I can't believe this program went away. They were in
the Boston Terriers.
Yeah, aren't they the Terriers? Oh yeah, jeez, they're rivals.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, Northeastern is in Boston.
Yeah, that's their rivals. See, you can tell it's a Friday afternoon. Northeastern, I get them confused, but they should start their football program back up too. Is what I was alluding to, because they were a very good football school for a long time. And look, they played football for damn near 100 years, and they just went away in 2010. Get that program back started. Boston Terriers, you too. All right, both your rivals. No, but this is a school that I'm a big fan of Bill Cohen. 18th season. I think he's a very good coach. I know last year I kind of ate shit with them, man. Like they were 10-20, 6-12 within the conference. Over the years of doing this show, they've kind of been one of my teams that I like to take because I feel like they get undervalued and they're chippy. Last year was not that year though. It was not that year. But maybe one thing is I can trust about Bill Cohen, his teams are going to fight hard. All right. I think this year might be the team. It could be the team. All right. They return Joe Pridgeon at the fifth-year senior at the guard spot, 22 minutes a game. I know they brought in Luka Sakota from Harvard at the other guard spot, who played about 27 minutes a game with the Crimson. Also, they went out and got Bryce Johnson from Sacred Heart, who averaged 27 minutes a game. He's a fifth-year senior as well. And really, when it comes to production, they might not have that one guy that is like, unstoppable. But Chris Doherty back at the big man spot. Rashad King looked promising as a freshman. Same with Masai Troutman. Glenn McClintock's going to be, I think, one to circle at the point guard spot. These guard play goes so big in the college basketball, let alone the mid majors. I think you want my surprise team. It's right here. Northeastern's going to be a lot better. Mac, your thoughts?
Yeah, so this is the first time he's lost back-to-back. Like he's had back-to-back losing seasons since the mid 2000s. And they kind of got fucked during the COVID era because they're in the Northeast where the rules were outrageous at the time. And he lost Tyson Walker, who's the point guard of Michigan State. We played him at West Virginia. He was unbelievable. And that's why he's in East Lansing now. I think this team brings back a bunch of pieces. Definitely going to be, we ate shit, like you said. I'm doubling down. Bill Cohen's going to get this thing in the right direction. They're going to finish in the top 5.
It's obvious, right?
Yeah.
Noah, your thoughts? And Noah's going to say he disagrees with this. I guarantee you.
He's going against the culture.
Noah,
the culture of going 19-42 over the last 2 seasons, but they did have winning seasons from 2015 to 2021. Yeah, last year they had 6 incoming freshmen. They're all sophomores now, and if we're believing in the culture, they're going to take a step up. This is another one. The CAA is kind of tricky this year. Not sure how high the ceiling is for Bill Cohen's squad, but believe in the coach. And year 2 of a lot of these guys, he didn't lose too many of his guys that he's kind of high on in the portal here. So Northeastern could surprise. I don't know where the surprise might be in the standings, like 7th through 9th, maybe. That's where I'm seeing this Northeastern team. So yeah, I got them around there.
All right, let's move and talk about those very Seawolves, the Stony Brook Seawolves. Okay, 11-22 last year, 6-12 in the CAA conference, and as you well know, I don't know. I feel like if you're a Seawolf fan, A, what the fuck is a Seawolf, and B, I think you should kind of be optimistic considering you were jumping up to. You haven't been in the CAA very long, so the Seawolves.
I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
They lose, though. Frankie Policelli, who we talked about earlier in this very episode, they lose a couple reserves too, and Sarvin, also Petway and Kane Roberts. Gino Ford's entering year 5, pivotal year for him.
Big year.
Tyler Stevenson Moore is back, who's a stud guard for them. 38 minutes a game. Just play the whole fucking game, Tyler. All right, just play the whole fucking game. Keenan Fitzmaurice, also their big man, 7'1". Those two nucleuses of the team are back. I also like Toby Onyekanwu, their backup guard who played 25 minutes a game. So I like that returning production. Now I think their season's kind of gonna go as the portal goes. They get Andrew Snoddy coming in from the Blue Devils of Central Connecticut. Also Rashawn Frederick from Hutchinson Community College and Chris Maydahl from Fairfield. They also return Dean Knoll and Aaron Clark, which I think could be substantial players on this team. All in all, you want to talk about one team that I'm just unsure of, could be better than what I think. This is a hard team to get a read of. This is like the Oregon State a couple years ago. I'll say middle of the pack, but they could surprise. Mac, your thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of lean to that middle of the pack. I mean, this is a pivotal year for Geno Ford, who's 58-61. They had been a dominant program in the America East with him and Steve Peichel before Peichel got the Rutgers job. But like you said, struggles there last year, a lot of injuries. I do expect a bounce back and a pivotal year for Geno Ford.
Noah, your thoughts on the Wolves of the Sea, which apparently is a class of submarines, huh? Is that accurate? Because, they also have I don't know. There's a few other submarines I've heard of too, that are specific names I could mention. But anyway, Noah, your thoughts.
Yeah, a couple of the guys in the backcourt got hurt early, and we never really saw this team at full strength last year. I mean, they're going to have a grad senior, senior in the backcourt this year. And Tyler Stevenson Moore, you can't be higher on him. I mean, he played basically, like you were mentioning, the entire games last year with 37.5 minutes per game and 14 points. All three of these guys are efficient shooters. This is another team. The CAA is kind of tough to project. Ford is in a make it or break it year. I'm going to rely on the backcourt to be good. But again, we haven't seen them all together. So I'm right there with you guys and saying I'm going to cop out and say this is a middle of the road team. I wish I could have them higher, but that's where I've got them right now.
Next up, we have the Towson Tigers. Pat Skerry entering his 13th season with Towson. They were 21-12 a year ago, 12-6, finished third in the CAA. They lost Nicholas Timberlake and Cameron Holden, which were huge pieces from a year ago, as well as Nagal Russell, who was a solid contributor as well. This team underachieved to me last year. I thought they'd be a little bit better. I know still finished third. It was a good season, but I just thought they'd be a little bit better. Charles Thompson, though, the big man, is back. 5th-year senior, 12.2 points per game. And they bring in a couple guys. I know Nenda Tark from Coppin State and Juan Dixon. This guy played like 36 minutes a game with Coppin State, averaged 12.5 points a game. That's your nucleus. Also, Messiah Jones coming in from Wofford. That's a nice get. I liked him at Wofford. Those three could be a pretty good nucleus to a team. After that, I think you're sitting there saying, okay, they bring in Tamawa Sulaiman from IUP. I'm probably butchering your name, but yeah, I'm a fucking idiot. Marcus Watson is one to watch as well. That could be a contributor on this team. I don't know. I mean, I feel like depth's an issue, but I still feel like talent wise, they're gonna be up there. Hicks at the point guard spot played 21 minutes a game. Yes, he wouldn't light up the scoreboard, but I think he's a solid point. I kind of think this is a top 5 or 6 team in the CAA. Mac?
Yeah, definitely. And you mentioned they underachieved last year. Headed into the year, I remember us talking about them as a potential at-large team if things shook out, kind of like we did about the Drakes of the world. Basically, what College of Charleston became ultimately. I think it's a year after the hype. They play better with lower expectations. Top 5. Pat Skerry always does a good job there. 46 wins in the last 2 years. So, yeah, I kind of like this Towson program headed into a more tampered expectations year.
Noah, what do you make of the Tigers? As Mike Tyson once said, I got the horde of lions, tigers, and bears.
I don't know if I'm willing to plant my flag on this team is going to be the team after the team, like after the post-hype sleeper, because I just got burned last year, and they lose. I would say they lose the most important pieces to a team in Holden and Timberlake out of any team in the CAA this year. Maybe Charleston's up there, but Skerry had all the pieces to win this league last year, and it kind of underwhelmed. The get that Colby highlighted was also my key to this team. Messiah Jones, after watching Wofford for maybe too much, just kind of hating on Larson, when he was there for 4 years, but
checking up on the competition.
Yeah, this guy was behind BJ Mack for a lot of his career, and BJ Mack was an absolute animal. So he's one of the better rebounders in the country as well. So I look for good, big things from Messiah Jones now that he actually gets a chance to be a full-time starter. But the nerving thing about this roster is they're small. I don't know how they're really going to be. I don't know if the CAA really has any monsters down low that's going to eat them up, but I think that's a clear hole in this roster for me.
Yeah. Ryan in the chat says the Seawolf is also a kind of wolf that lives in the Pacific Northwest. Perfect sense for a team in New York to own that one there. Perfect. Yep. Makes a lot of sense in the Coastal Athletic Conference. Fucking terrible. Next up, let's jump on over and talk about the and yeah, I think Towson could be there. They get someone opening night. Is it Colorado? I think they get Colorado opening night.
I'll pull it up right here.
They get someone.
It's Colorado. They're a 16-point dog to Colorado opening night.
Take the points. Let's go.
Yeah. Elevation.
How about that traveling schedule? They go at Colorado and then they come back at Coppin State.
That's a rivalry game too. I like that.
Baltimore.
Let's talk about the North Carolina Wilmington Seahawks. Controversial name. I personally find it very offensive. And I don't think we should continue this episode.
Yeah, the Seahawks, they're all the way in Seattle, right?
Yes, and they have a Native American. That's a Native American term. Anyway, 24-10, 12-6 in the CAA a year ago for the Seahawks out of Wilmington, North Carolina. Remember, I jumped down there to the Trask Coliseum to catch the Seahawks play, and they beat the piss out of the Jacksonville Dolphins. I like this program. The one knock against it from watching them live last year is I thought they needed some height. We'll see. They lose Amari Kelly and Jamari Thomas, both combined for about 15 points a game. I don't know. Is it Siddle? Siddle, I think it's Siddle, the head coach there. He's a good coach though. I kind of buy into the culture and the home environment that they've built there in Wilmington. Now, Trezarian White is back, which is great. 32 minutes a game, 14 points per game. Also Malik Harden Hayes, another guy, 28. This is a fifth-year senior, 28 minutes a game, about 10 points per game. Those two are a great nucleus, and the minutes that are back with Donovan Newby.
Second most returning minutes for CAA.
Shaquem Phillips. You then you go out and get Ahmad Harvey from High Point, and then you add in KJ Jenkins, who I liked at New Mexico. Man, I'm kind of sold. I think they should be the favorite. You hear that? I think they should be the favorite going into CAA play. The only thing I worry about is still the problem from a year ago. I worry about height. Teams that have height seem to fuck them up. Mac, your thoughts on the Seahawks?
Yeah, Seidel's done a great job. I mean, he was there with Kevin Keatts when he got it rolling at Wilmington. They go to NC State. He comes back to resurrect the program for the 3 years that he was gone. 27 wins 2 years ago, 24 wins last year. They bring back a majority of their core. I'm with you. Them and Charleston right there, toe to toe, headed into this year. They probably should have beat Charleston in the final. I think they got a fucking bad whistle, if I remember correctly, and they beat Hofstra the night before. It's a good team right there to win the league. May pick them to win it. Stay tuned.
Noah, your thoughts on the Seahawks?
Sign me up for 3 more Charleston UNCW battles, because I think both those teams are going to be right there again. UNCW, they returned the second most minutes, only second behind Drexel, but their roster is the oldest, most experienced in the CAA, as they are projected to start 4 seniors, 1 junior, and that junior is a dog in Drazarian White. I love this team. This is going to be another team day and night in, night out that I'm looking to back. However, their schedule is tough to find any spots that I really love. Taking a peek early on in the year, they are in the neutral site tournaments. Their first game's App State. I don't have the other games in front of me here, but Colby at East Carolina, November 30th. They're a 1-point dog there, but that could be a look ahead spot to Kentucky.
I feel like that should probably be like, 7 or 8 point dog, but I mean, I understand it. They want to give the fans hope.
ECU is going to lock them down with their length and their athleticism.
Oh, of course. I mean, I can't beat ECU, but it should be fun. I don't know. I think this team, I have them favored to win the conference right now. I'm going to reveal that hand. I know we're going to get to it in a second, but the final team to talk about is the Tribe. Great name. Shout out to William and Mary the Tribe, as they've had some tough times lately. This is a team, they thought Dane Fisher was the hire. Can I just talk about something here? Didn't they fire Tony Shaver?
Yeah,
get on your high horse, Colby.
It was a joke.
Get on your platform, scream it from the mountaintops.
They fired Tony Shaver, and he was
good
fucking
every year.
Awesome. Let me just rattle off Tony Shaver's final 8 years. 20 and 12, 20 and 13, 20 and 11, 17 and 14, 19 and 12. Then a tough 14 and 17 season. Bounces back. Actually, that's what they fired him at. 14 and 17. So then Dane Fisher comes in, gets his players 21 and 20 or 21 and 11. But ever since then, 7 and 10 during the COVID year, 5 and 27, 13 and 20. Unfucking believable. They're in last place. No, I'm joking. I just can't believe they fired him. We didn't make the NCAA tournament. Boo fucking who? You're winning 20 games every year. Yeah. Unfucking believable. This is a team. I mean, I think it's a big year for Fisher in year 5, because they haven't done shit since that first year in Williamsburg. They were 13 and 20 a year ago, 7-11 in the CAA, finished 8th in the conference. So 8th in the Colonial. You're okay with that? I don't think so. If you now they do return Noah Collier, the big man, 6'8" junior, 9 points a game, 28 minutes a game. They do return Gabe Dorsey, who also played about 29 minutes a game, 11 points per game. But other than that, the cupboard's a bit empty. I mean, you better hope some of these transfers, like Trey Moss from South Florida with the Bulls, pans out, or Caleb Dorsey from Penn State, played about 12 minutes a game with the Nittany Lions. Also, Sean Haupt from Florida Tech. All in all, guys, maybe it's personal for me, but I'm fading them. Mac, your thoughts on the Tribe?
Yeah, no, hard team to figure out. Big year for Dave Fisher. The thing with Shaver, man, they had an identity when he was there. They would run that Princeton white guy offense. Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but it kind of like Iowa football. They found a way to maximize what they had with their current roster. They would win 18 to 20 games every year, and it wasn't pretty, but they got the job done. I don't trust this team with the new way that they want to play. Kind of like Wisconsin in football, going from ground and pound to the dairy rate is what I think you call it. I'm fading them. I think they'll be in the bottom 5.
So let me get this straight. From 2006 to 2019, Tony Shaver had 4 losing seasons.
He was great. He was phenomenal. He got everything he could out of that program.
It's fucking. What are you supposed to do?
Hey, they're right down the road from me. I'm gonna put them on my tour this year and root against them.
There you go. There you go.
Bring back Shaver.
Yeah, bring back Shaver. He's 69 years old. He's still got some hoops in him. Former North Carolina Tar Heel guard for Dean Smith. Noah, what are you doing here with the Tribe?
Yeah, I don't have a grudge against them, but I don't know what they've got this year. A couple of the transfers that they're bringing in, they're expecting big things from, and they're just inexperienced. And in specific, Trey Moss going to be their point guard. He had eight minutes a game last year, and Caleb Dorsey, he had 12 minutes a game last year at Penn State. He's going to offer a little bit of a stretch fourness there. He shot 33% in a good Penn State offensive system. He'll play the 4 here, I assume, for William and Mary. The thing about this team that I worry about is last year, offensively, they turned the ball over a lot, 12th in the CAA in turnovers. So it's the one thing that I don't love. And they are also 323rd in the nation shooting the 3-pointer. So not very good offensively for this team. And I don't know what these new transfer pieces are going to provide. So this is probably a bottom half team for me.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't think they'd be very good. They're just not very good. All right, let's get to our rankings. Let's talk a little bit about our projections, because how many teams we got in this conference? Was it
14?
12? Yeah. Okay. 14. I think it's pretty obvious who we have at number 14. And that's the Aggies of North Carolina A&T. They're at 14 for all of us, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, at 13, Campbell. Campbell's going to be 13th to me.
That's who I had.
Yeah,
I have Hampton there.
Hater. Yeah. At 12, Elon.
Same here.
I had Elon at 12.
Yep.
At 11, William and Mary.
Another one.
I have Campbell at 11.
There you go.
At 10, I have Hampton.
Once again, we're seeing eye to eye.
Noah?
William and Mary for me.
There you go.
At number 9, Monmouth.
I went Stony Brook here.
Okay, there we go. We got some.
I have Stony Brook at 9.
I have Stony Brook at 8. So how about that, Matt? Could you have at 8th?
I got the Blue Hens of Delaware at 8.
Me too.
Wow. At 7, this is hilarious though, because I have Delaware. So we're like one off now.
Yep.
Who do you have at 7th?
And I got Monmouth, so there we go.
I have Monmouth there too.
At number 6, I have Towson.
Yep, I got the Towson Tigers with Pat Skerry at 6.
Noah?
Towson at 6.
At number 5, I have the Delaware Blue Hens.
You want to go 5 in?
Okay.
Top 5 in.
Well, no, started at 4 because I already gave away Delaware. Matt,
right.
Give me your 5th.
I went Northeastern with Bill Cohen at 5.
Noah?
I need time on my top 5. I didn't make it pre-show.
I got you. Okay. Well, look, at 4, I had Northeastern. At number 3, I had, get this, Charleston. At number 2, I had Hofstra. At number 1, I had Wilmington. Mac, what was your top 5?
I went 4 Drexel, so Spiker stays at 4. Hofstra at 3, Charleston at 2, and UNC Wilmington gets back on top and wins the league.
Yeah, I like it. I'm on board with Wilmington. Did I say Drexel? Why do I feel like I didn't say Drexel? But I went through 4.
I think you said Drexel at 5, maybe?
Yeah, maybe that's what I said. But I don't know if I said it on air. Maybe I skipped myself. But Noah.
Towson at 5, Hofstra at 4, Charleston at 3, Drexel at 2, UNCW at 1.
We all got UNC Dub, folks.
Let's go.
UNCW, start your football program. We're all here for
betting
it.
Odds on this.
And the tournament, is it in Baltimore again? I believe it was in Baltimore.
No, I think I saw. I thought I read that it's in DC now.
It might be.
I could be wrong.
Who do you think was the tourney?
Ooh.
See, like for me, when I was taking into account my rankings, Pat Kelsey might be hearing murmurs around this time on coaching opportunities.
Fair.
So I'm kind of out on Charleston, especially for the tournament. So if
Drexel.
UNC doesn't,
Give me Speedy Claxton. Heartbreak last year, bounce back this year. They get it done.
that was the dark horse that I was looking at too. I kind of like Hofstra to win the tournament.
Drexel, the experience pays off.
I like that too.
If UNCW doesn't win the regular season, I'm saying they're winning the conference tournament.
Yeah, one of the two. I'm with you on that. Folks, subscribe to the College Basketball Experience.
By the way,
pull up those odds. Subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. Give Noah a follow at NoahB77_. Give Moneyline Mac a follow on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. Subscribe to the College Basketball, the College Basketball Experience and the Big 12 Experience. Also, Noah is on. He's on our college baseball show all the time. He's our baseball ace. See what I did there? So check out the College Baseball Experience with Noah Bieniek.
The books must not be hip to this conference name change because they don't have the CAA in here. They've got every other conference with the CAA.
Love it. Yeah, I'm excited to watch another year of Colonial hoops. Subscribe to the College Basketball Experience at TCE on SGPN on Twitter. So follow that and then subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/the College Experience. Folks, when the season tips, we're here every single night of the season talking hoops, breaking down every game. We love it. We've been doing it for years. So check it out, subscribe, all that good stuff. Get the SGPN app. Check out the College Football Experience, the FCS College Football Experience. CAA fans, I got you covered with the FCS College Football Experience. And make sure you check out all the other feeds, all the podcasts out there for the Sports Gambling Podcast and the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Until next time, folks, this is the College Basketball Experience, Colonial Athletic Association style. Until next time, you better start thinking about yours.
My darts, you get ripped apart. Save the cookie cutter mother for 106 apart. Guzzle your liquor while I sip your heart. You never dumb it down, dawg. If you're smart, I throw out a couple of lines. Biters are quick to cross. Fishy, you on a dick to lie. Piss you off, it goes tits and bras, lips and jaws. I use my common sense to see the bitch and all. Good thing you got the market corner, kids and malls. Grip the red carpet as you slip and fall off. Another career spear, thanks for trying tough luck. You get an A for effort and an F for shut the fuck up. Here's a hint. Put down the mic, you catch a glimpse. And keep them eyes wide when you see me. Mics, I seize them. So when you see him, you got a good reason to look. Catch a glimpse. A lot of these heads need to improve their improv. Talent's not a program you download to install. Quality spread through hard work, no involved. My peers respect me cause I'm genuinely involved. Beyond gathering names to build up my buddy list. You decide, friendships and pounds of suicide and bloody risk. Come equipped or leave empty handed. They don't call me C's for nothing. See the camera? Smile, click. Here comes the picture. You act like a child. Manhood don't fit ya. I'll break your whole style down to a bumper sticker. I never need a gun to lift ya.